Hey guys, Koukun here, coming at you actually from my office at my home in St. Catharines. I just want to chat today about a property that I recently sold. So, I recently sold a rental that I've owned for the last 5 years or so in the city of Cambridge. So, this was a simple semi detached home, and we sold it just earlier this month. We listed it at 399,000, and we held offers for about a week, and we ended up getting three offers, all of them over asking, and ended up selling it shortly after for $418,000. So I want to chat today about basically how to sell a property, especially when it was used as a rental property or if it's a property that does need some work, so that you can maximize the sale price, but also do it in a way such that you're efficient. So the story behind this home, we bought it as an investment property, held it for about 5 years. And after renting it out, I think we had around, say, three sets of tenants over that 5 year period of time. The last tenant lived there for, I believe, close to 3 years. They were great tenants, paid the rent on time, but the home was a little bit basically used by the time that they left, right? So some of the carpets were in rough shape. The paint really needed to get redone. And it wasn't a turnkey home. What worked well for us with this property is we knew the market was pretty active. So in the Cambridge, so that's part of the Kitchener-Waterloo area. It's just outside of Kitchener, right? That market right now is quite active. Many homes, especially homes under 500,000, are selling over asking in multiple offers. So what we knew is, regardless of its condition, if it's priced right, we're going to attract a lot of buyers. So what we decided to do is we first ran the comparables, right? You always want to see what other homes similar to yours are selling for, and we could see that there were some turnkey homes that had sold for the 450,000 price range, so a turnkey semi-detached, similar to ours. We also saw that there were some turnkey listings that expired that were listed at like 470. So we knew that that was a bit too high to push for this type of home. And then we saw there were some sales closer to 400,000 for properties that were similar to ours that needed work. So what we figured is this. Let's list it at 399 and let's hold offers for a week and let's see what people are prepared to pay. And we also decided to not invest any money in upgrading the home. We got some quotes to get it painted, to get the deck redone, to get the kitchen redone. And if we wanted to fully update the home, it was going to cost us about $35,000, which was okay, right, if it allowed us to get a higher sale price. However, we figured the upgrades we do are going to be like a very basic renovation to sell it quickly, essentially. However, if this market is active, there may be buyers that are willing to get the home in an unrenovated shape and really put money into it and make it the quality that they want. So they may be investing quite a bit more than 35,000 into the home because it's going to be the home they're going to live in for a good number of years, and that's the quality that they want in their personal home. So we figured if that's the case, let's test it out for a week, right? Put it at 399, wait for a week to see what response we get. And the funniest part is we got like close to 20, 25 showings on the home. Around 70% of the realtors who showed the home, the feedback that they gave was the home was overpriced and that it needed a lot of work and it wasn't really worth even the list price. And the fact that we were holding offers to them seemed insane. That's fine. We always want to listen to feedback, but we also want to listen to where that feedback is coming from. So for most of these realtors, their buyers were looking for something turnkey, and in their mind, paying this price for something that needed work didn't make sense for their buyers. So we were fine with that. The other 30% of realtors were somewhat interested because their buyers were willing to do work. Either they were realtors for investors that were going to renovate and flip it, others were realtors with buyers that couldn't afford to purchase the turnkey property, so they needed to find something that needed work that was a little bit cheaper, where their buyer could put in money over time to renovate the home. And finally, the person who ended up buying the place, they were actually someone who were pre-approved up to 500,000. So we were listed at 399. They were approved up to 500,000, and they were actually thinking of doing a lot of work to the property. So they were thinking of adding an addition off the back of the property, gutting the inside of the home, putting brand new kitchens, bathrooms, flooring, really update the inside of the home, something we would never do just to prepare it for sale. And they actually liked the fact that the property needed work, because their plan was to do work anyways to whatever home they bought. So they might as well buy a home that's a little bit cheaper, put money into it, and make it exactly what they wanted. So in this case, it worked out perfectly. It's not always the case. Sometimes it makes sense to renovate and upgrade a home before preparing it for sale. But you got to really look at what is the market like where you're trying to sell it. So, for example, if this was a tighter market, meaning there were not as many buyers looking and homes were taking longer to sell, then we would want to have attracted those 70% of realtors and their buyers that were looking for a turnkey property. In this case, because the market was really active, we were okay with just targeting that 30% of realtors and their buyers who were looking for a property that needed work that was a little bit cheaper, because there were enough of them that we still got multiple offers and we got well over our asking price. And when we did the numbers at the end of it, we sold it for 418. If we had put another $35,000 into the property, we could maybe have got 450, but at the end of the day, that would have been like 2.5 months of work, and we would be selling it in the dead of winter, where we may not even have been able to achieve that price. So turned out to be a very good decision to not do the work, sell it as it is for a little bit cheaper, but then get a quick sale and not have to deal with the trades, not have to deal with even renovating the home at all. So it worked out in that case. So if you're in a situation where you're trying to sell a property that needs work, it's important to assess, is the market you're in very active for that type of property? Can you get away without renovating it? Are you still going to be able to attract buyers willing to pay a fair price for the place? Or does it make sense to upgrade the property to get the sale price you want? And then you got to really assess, what do you want to do to get that sale price? Like, are you prepared to do a full renovation? Is it going to be simply a paint? What upgrades can you afford to do? And what makes sense in that market? So hopefully that helped. If you'd like to get more information about investing and real estate in general, click the link below. I have a email that I send out. It's called my Best Buy email. I share information about real estate investing, some of the deals that my clients are working on in terms of the type of property they're buying, the rents they're getting, and also I share every week or so if there's a good opportunity for an investment. I share it, and along with some of the numbers that I expect from a property that I feel may be a worthwhile investment. So if you're interested, check it out in the link below. Until next time, all the best. Take care.